Welcome to the GPS Employee Safety Orientation video. Our Safety Star Commander will be your navigator today. Now let's learn how to be a GPS Safety Star. Team GPS wants you to follow the GPS Safety Compass, which prioritizes safe work practices. Adhering to these Safety Star smart moves will protect both you and your coworkers. This Safety Compass video covers essential safety smart moves, accident prevention, and procedures for handling injuries. Shown here are some key safety practices to follow, like always work at a speed that is consistent with safety. Before each use, inspect tools and equipment, and obeying warning signs and tags. If you don't receive site-specific training upon starting your assignment, please notify your GPS office right away. Every GPS employee has the responsibility to understand and comply with all applicable safety policies and standards in the workplace. After this video, you'll take a short quiz to reinforce key safety elements. Contact your local GPS office immediately if you are asked to perform tasks outside of your approved assignment, such as operating forklifts or running machinery without proper training. Accidents are defined as unplanned events that interrupt production of service, resulting in bodily injury, property damage, or loss of time. A safety hazard is defined as a condition that creates the potential for harm. If you identify a safety hazard in your workplace, you should mark off the hazard if you can do so safely and notify a supervisor immediately. As a GPS employee, you play a key role in preventing injuries. Here's what you can do. Report unsafe conditions to your site supervisor and GPS representative. Follow all client and GPS safety guidelines. Use proper lifting techniques and wear required PPE. Handle tools safely and watch for slip, trip, and fall hazards, and know all emergency procedures. If you're unsure about anything, ask your on-site supervisor for help. GPS employees have several options available to reach the safety hotline, as you can see on the screen. The GPS Safety Director takes reasonable steps to investigate all safety concerns which are reported. The Safety Navigator recommends these Safety Star smart moves for every job assignment. Horseplay or any unsafe behavior is strictly prohibited at all times. Avoid taking unnecessary risks and never work in hazardous conditions, such as operating machinery with missing guards or removing safety guards. Cell phone use, including texting, is not allowed while on the job. Smoking is only permitted in designated areas on job sites. Alcohol, illegal or prohibited substances are not allowed on the job. Always use handrails on stairs and elevated surfaces. Keep clear of suspended loads. Do not enter confined spaces, chambers, or tanks that lack proper ventilation. Operate only the machinery or equipment you are authorized and trained to use safely, including forklifts. Remove jewelry and tie back long hair, including beards. Ensure loose clothing is secured and jackets are fastened with buttons or zippers. Never reach over moving parts of machinery or equipment. Always wear appropriate clothing and footwear on the job. Also, use the required personal protective equipment and do not work alone. With these Safety Star smart moves in mind, let's review some specific safety practices to keep you safe during your job assignments. Proper lifting techniques are crucial for maintaining a healthy back. Avoid tasks like twisting, lifting more than 40 to 45 pounds without assistance, reaching outside your work zone, or using an incorrect grip. Here are some key points for safe lifting. Lift objects from between your mid-thigh and chest level. Use your legs, not your back, to lift. Keep your back straight and avoid twisting. Get close to the load, bend your knees, keep the load close to your body, and lift with your legs. If a load exceeds 40 to 45 pounds, you must use a team lift or mechanical aid, such as a hand truck or forklift. Always find time for pre-shift stretching, as it prepares your muscles for the workday, reduces fatigue, improves posture, and boosts balance and coordination. Check the screen for various stretching options to help you warm up before starting your daily tasks. An ergonomic workstation should provide the right support and be properly positioned. Here are some tips for setting up your workstation. Start with your chair, ensuring you're sitting up straight with your spine aligned. Use an ergonomically designed keyboard tray. Place your mouse close to the keyboard for easy access. Position your monitor directly in front of you, about an arm's length away. Tilt and adjust the monitor height so you're looking slightly downward to avoid neck strain. Keep reference materials within view. Keep your phone, calculator, and notepad within easy reach. And if working from a standing position, apply the same principles for head, eyes, neck, elbow, keyboard, and mouse alignment as described above. Emergencies from fires, severe weather, hazardous material leaks, workplace violence, or national events can happen at any time. It's crucial to be prepared and know how to respond. Familiarize yourself with all evacuation routes, exits, assembly points, and shelter areas at your workplace. Engage in evacuation drills and emergency training sessions. Do not use elevators during an evacuation. Stay in the designated area until authorities signal it's safe to leave. And be aware of shelter-in-place locations. Now let's see what the Safety Smart Move is for a fire emergency. In a fire event, knowing the nearest emergency exit route and the locations of fire alarms and fire extinguishers could save your life. If you discover a fire, pull the fire alarm, call 911, and evacuate the building. Use the pass method with a fire extinguisher. Pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the handle, and sweep side to side at the base. Good housekeeping means keeping your workplace clean and organized. For effective housekeeping, follow these steps. Keep work areas and storage facilities tidy and organized. Clean spills immediately. When not in use, return tools and equipment to their designated places. Arrange extension cords, hoses, and other items to avoid tripping hazards and blockages. Most importantly, the following areas should be clear of obstructions at all times: stairways, passageways, exits, and access points, including those to electrical boxes, eye wash stations, and fire extinguishers. Wearing personal protective equipment, PPE, is crucial for safety on the job. To be effective, it must be used correctly and worn as required. Common PPE includes protecting your eyes by wearing safety glasses, face shields, and welding helmets, and ensuring they fit well and are maintained. Protecting your feet by wearing the appropriate safety shoes for your work environment. Protecting your hearing by wearing earplugs or earmuffs, which are rated for noise levels of 85 decibels or more over 8 hours. Hard hats with an impact-absorbing design protect your head from injuries. Protecting your hands by wearing protective gloves. Your supervisor will provide the right type glove for your tasks. Always use the appropriate PPE and consult your supervisor if you're unsure or if the equipment is damaged, with the exception to safety shoes, which are your responsibility. The OSHA Hazard Communication Standard is designed to protect you from accidental chemical exposure. Here are essential practices for handling chemicals and hazardous materials. Use chemicals as intended and avoid mixing incompatible chemicals. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment. Know the location of the nearest eye wash and drench shower stations. Review safety data sheets for hazard and safety information available at each client site. Ensure containers are correctly labeled with contents and hazard warnings, and understand the GHS pictograms, with training provided at the client site. Wash your hands frequently. before breaks, meals, and at the end of the day. Work areas should be kept separate from break and lunch areas. Smoking is prohibited near chemicals or solvents. Only use designated smoking areas. GPS must provide approval prior to using any vehicle for work purposes. If you receive approval to operate a vehicle during your assignment, cell phone use and texting are prohibited while operating the vehicle for work purposes. Human blood and bodily fluids are hazardous because they can carry blood-borne pathogens such as hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV. To protect yourself from blood-borne pathogens, follow these steps. Wear gloves and goggles when exposed to blood or bodily fluids. Treat all bodily fluids as contaminated. Clean work surfaces with bleach or other disinfectants after exposure. Immediately wash your hands and any skin that comes into contact with blood or bodily fluids. It is important to report the exposure to your on-site supervisor as quickly as possible. Most electrical accidents can be prevented. Only qualified personnel should repair electrical equipment. Follow these precautions when working with electricity. Inspect equipment and cords for damage before use. Avoid overloading electrical outlets, as they can melt or start a fire. Do not use or work with electrical equipment in damp or wet conditions or near water. Report any concerns to your on-site supervisor. Use lockout-tagout procedures to de-energize and secure equipment during maintenance. If you encounter locked and tagged equipment, do not touch it, its controls, or remove the tag. Instead, contact the person who tagged the equipment or your supervisor before proceeding. Only qualified personnel should handle repairs or lockout-tagout procedures. Slip, trip, and fall accidents can often be prevented with simple precautions. Here are some tips. Move steadily and avoid rushing. Watch for changes in floor texture and hazards like water or ice. Use slip-resistant shoes as needed. Keep your hands free and avoid putting them in your pockets. Ensure you can see over any load you're carrying. Keep workspaces clean and free of clutter. Ensure chair legs are on the floor. Adhere to client site safety rules and ensure your shoelaces are tied and the soles of your shoes are in good condition. Clean spills immediately. Be cautious of weather-related hazards like ice and snow or any other type of trip hazard you may experience and report these to your on-site supervisor for cleanup. Ladder safety is important. Follow these precautions when using a ladder. Always be sure to maintain 3 points of contact. Set up the ladder on a firm, even surface. Inspect a ladder before each use. Spreaders need to be fully opened, locked, and in place. Do not stretch or lean on a ladder. Make sure to reposition the ladder to reach items. Report any damage or defects to your on-site supervisor immediately. Remember, GPS prohibits the use of ladders over 6 feet, except for rolling staircases. Climbing on unstable surfaces like stacked pallets, totes, or rolls of material is strictly prohibited. Such practices are considered unsafe, and if your on-site supervisor requests you to perform them, you must report it to GPS immediately. Machine guarding is designed to keep you safe during machine operations. Guards are installed to prevent objects from being pulled into or stuck into the moving parts of the machine. Always use lockout-tagout procedures to secure machinery before making any adjustments inside a machine. Removing guards while a machine is operating is deemed an unsafe work practice and should be reported to your on-site supervisor and GPS immediately. While using hand tools, follow these best practices. Always use the appropriate tool for the job. Use the correct personal protective equipment. Check handles and heads for tightness and proper condition before each use. Clean tools after use and store them properly to prevent falls or trip hazards. Report any tool defects to your on-site supervisor for repair or replacement. Forklift operation requires on-site certification for each client site. Shown here, you'll find tips to enhance forklift safety and ensure the safety of pedestrians working or walking in the same area as forklifts. Always carry the load properly. Sound horn at an intersection. Fasten your seatbelt when operating a forklift. Watch for pedestrians. If the load is blocking your view, use a spotter to guide you. Obey all on-site client forklift operation guidelines. Also, as a rule, workers should always be aware of forklift traffic and stay in the designated walkways, along with maintaining a safe distance away from the forklift while it is in operation. All employees working in hot and humid environments could be at risk for heat illness. However, individuals with specific risk factors, like those shown on the screen, may be even more vulnerable. It's essential for everyone to keep an eye on their coworkers, encourage regular hydration with cool water, and ensure they take breaks in shaded or cool areas. The screen displays 6 heat illnesses, along with their symptoms. The most severe is heat stroke, which can be life-threatening. Then there is heat exhaustion, heat cramps, heat syncope, heat rash, and rhabdomyolysis. You can prevent a heat illness event by staying hydrated. If you notice a coworker experiencing symptoms of heat illness, immediately cool the person with a fan, wet towels, or by moving them to a cooler spot and notify your site supervisor immediately. Remember to hydrate today for tomorrow. The OSHA Whistleblower Program allows you to file a complaint using the steps shown on the screen. Every employee has the right to use this program. However, your local GPS office can often address safety hazards with the client site. You can report the hazards by using the safety hotline or by reporting the hazard to your local GPS office. Despite our best efforts to create the safest possible work sites, accidents can still happen. GPS and its clients are dedicated to ensuring a safe and secure work environment for all employees. If you are unable to perform any of the tasks associated with your assignment, contact your GPS representative. Employees are required to follow all safety protocols while on assignment, to include those established on a temporary basis due to special circumstances. If you incur an injury while performing your job duties, please report it immediately to your on-site client supervisor and contact MedCorps Nurse Triage as well as GPS by the end of your shift. Prompt reporting of any work-related injury is crucial for ensuring you receive appropriate medical care, facilitating a speedy return to work, and preventing similar incidents for others. All clients are familiar with these procedures and will assist you in following them. A GPS representative will start a report and investigate the incident. For your protection and care, cooperation with this process is essential. Post-accident drug screening is standard procedure in accordance with our substance abuse policy. We are committed to providing you with the best medical treatment and helping you return to work as swiftly as possible. Please remember that filing a false or fraudulent workers' compensation claim is a serious crime that can result in fines, imprisonment, and loss of benefits. Now that you are a GPS Safety Star, you can find more safety smart moves on our website at gpsjobs.net under the Resources tab, then click Safety Resources or in your GPS guidelines in the Safety section. Please ask your GPS representative any questions you may have concerning the topics discussed in this training video. Remember, GPS wants you to return home to your family in the same condition as you arrived at work. Have a safe day.